A lot of teams in Major League Baseball are one or two pieces away from being playoff contenders, if not World Series contenders in 2021. What does that mean for JT Realmuto, Trevor Bauer, George Springer, DJ LeMahieu, all of the top free agents in 2021? They're going to get some money because a lot of teams are thinking that's the guy. We need him to get us over the hump, and that's what we're going to talk about today. Not so much predictions for every single major leaguer, but all of the best and the top free agents and the best fits to get that team over the hump. So for me, these are my opinions. Let me know in the comment section down below if you agree or disagree. And without further ado, let's start talking baseball. A lot of people would say that JT Realmuto is the biggest fish of the offseason, but I would say it's a three-way tie between Realmuto, Springer, and LeMahieu. We'll talk about those guys in a second. The Phillies were top 10 in offense and bottom 5 in pitching, so the best fit for JT is not the Phillies. It is going to be the New York Mets. They have a spot available because I don't think Ramos is going to be back. I don't think that Tomas Nido is the man of the future. Steve Cohen, he is ready to build a team that is competing for the next couple years, and JT is your #1 guy. Go sign this man right now. Why is everyone writing off Corey Kluber, a two-time Cy Young Award winner? And it's pretty basic. The only reason why he's been bad the last couple seasons is because of health. He's had a long offseason. I think he's going to come back healthy. The Giants, they could really use his services. They were one of the worst teams in regards to starting pitchers, and the Giants played pretty well in 2020. This is a great signing. It's pretty much been settled that the Red Sox are not going to re-sign Jackie Bradley Jr., so that leaves a massive opening in center field. Now, defensively, I would say that Jackie Bradley is a little bit better than George Springer, but offensively, you cannot compare the two. Springer has been a top 10 offensive force since the beginning of 2019. I think he would be a perfect fit in a Red Sox uniform. Combine that with Bobby Dahlbeck, you have Tanner Huock, you have Chris Sale coming back, you have Eduardo Rodriguez hopefully coming back from Corona. I think Springer to Boston is great. If DJ LeMahieu does not re-sign with the Yankees, I'm going to be a little bit upset with him because the Yankees gave him a contract when everyone thought that DJ was just a product of Coors Field, and guess what? He proved all the haters wrong en route to being an MVP candidate the last couple seasons. So in my opinion, I think that DJ needs to stay in New York. They need him in that lineup because he goes the other way. He doesn't strike out a ton. He plays pretty decent defense. He is the consummate New York Yankees player, and when you have a lineup full of righties striking out, you need him to balance it out. I really hope the Yankees smarten up. They pay him the money that he deserves because he didn't accept the offer. Here's a crazy stat for you guys. Shane Bieber could give up 45 consecutive home runs and still have a lower ERA than the Phillies bullpen in 2020. They were historically bad, so they're going to need Brad Hand or Liam Hendricks, but I think Brad Hand, he fits the mold a little bit better in a Phillies uniform. He was terrific in the regular season, but then we also happened against the Yankees in the playoffs. Hopefully that doesn't happen. I'm afraid of Hand, and I hope that we don't resign him. So yeah, the Phillies can have him. Nelson Cruz is doing things at his age that we have not seen often in the history of Major League Baseball. Now, I do honestly have to admit he was great for the Twins, and they'll probably most likely re-sign him, but one team that I think would love him in that lineup is the Tampa Bay Rays. Considering Randy Arozarena was the only offensive force in the World Series, having Nelson Cruz in that lineup would do wonders. So I think it's the best fit, but the Twins, it's also not bad. I personally think Masahiro Tanaka is a tad bit overrated. When he first came up, I thought that he was great. In his first couple starts in the playoffs, he was terrific. But postseason Tanaka, he did not show up in 2020, and I think because of that, they'll probably offer him a discounted contract, and he loves New York. New York loves him back. I think Masahiro Tanaka stays at a discounted price. John Lester is most likely not going to re-sign with the Cubs because he's not been great for 3 consecutive seasons. Plug in James Paxton, I think the Cubs instantly get better. So you have Hendricks, Paxton, Alec Mills. That's not horrible. I think they have some more improvements to make, but I think they should start with Paxton. This is the biggest slam dunk pick of the video. Trevor Bauer going to the Angels makes the most sense of any pick in today's video, and I think that because Bauer is from California. We all know he pitched at UCLA. The Angels need starting pitching. Sandoval is not the future. Canning has showed some promise. We also have Dylan Bundy having a surprising season. The Angels, they need pitching more than anything. Bauer, he's going to vlog with Mike Trout. That would be a match made in heaven. them. But also, Bauer just followed Stephen Cohen, the owner of the Mets, on Twitter, and his agent, Rachel Luba, is retweeting a lot of Mets stuff. So I think the Mets are really trying to get Bauer and REALMUTO, and if they do, wow. Just wow. Just like DJ LeMahieu, I'm going to be real upset if Marcell Ozuna decides to leave the Atlanta Braves because they gave him a shot. He was not great with the Cardinals. I was arguing with St. Louis fans for the last year and a half saying you should have re-signed him. I know he wasn't great, but the talent is there. Ozuna, if you're watching this, I know he is. Please, for the love of God, stay there. I think that Pache is going to be great. Maybe kick out Nick Markakis, re-sign with the Braves yesterday. Make it happen. This one pains me to say. I don't know if Carlos Santana is going to take a hometown discount, and considering the Rangers were pretty bad with first base production, Guzman, he's decent, but the Rangers need help with getting on base, and Santana, he's the king of doing that. If you think that Oscar Mercado, Delino DeShields, Greg Allen before he got traded, Jordan Luplow, Tyler Naquin, Bradley Zimmer, if you have to use 17 different outfielders to try and find one guy that's the guy, you're doing something wrong. Talking about the Indians, Jock Peterson, I think he's going to be the first big free agent acquisition for the Tribe since Edwin Encarnacion. Please make it happen. I think Josh Naylor goes to first base to replace Santana, and Peterson, he's the power bat that we've been looking for. I would be shocked if Justin Turner leaves the Dodgers simply on the fact that when they won the World Series, it came out that he tested positive for the corona. There was so much drama around that. I'm not sure if any team really wants to deal with that as their first big acquisition to start the 2020-2021 offseason. So I'll go ahead and do the safe pick. Mr. Turner is going to get fined, maybe suspended, but he'll do it as a member of the Dodgers where he won a World Series, so I think he's okay with it. Knowing the A's and their Moneyball trend, I'm not sure if they're going to be able to retain Liam Hendricks because Marcus Semien is also a free agent, and again, they don't spend a ton of money. The Cubs, they're in desperate need of a solidified, dominant closing pitcher because Craig Kimbrell has been terrible. I know Tepera got an MVP vote, but that was by mistake. Cubs made the playoffs with down seasons from Baez and Chris Bryant, so if they can get back to normal, sign James Paxton as well as Liam Hendricks, yes, they're going to be stretched cap-wise, but they'll be way better. The Brewers can believe in Luis Urias all they want, but I don't think he's the guy. I truly don't. Didi Gregorius, he fills in that lineup nicely with Yelich and the other guys that are going to rake, in my opinion, because Yelich, he's not going to have a down season 2 years in a row, so Didi, perfect fit. The biggest difference between Marcus Semien and Liam Hendricks is that Liam Hendricks actually had great back-to-back seasons. Semien, terrific in 2019, an MVP candidate. He was not great in 2020, just a year later. So he's going to be a discounted player, and that's what the A's love. Discounts, coupons galore. Charlie Morton would be perfect in a Cardinals uniform. I almost see a second coming of Chris Carpenter. If the Cardinals want playoff success, they're gonna need an experienced pitcher on their side, and Charlie Morton, he's gonna give you innings and innings and innings. And that does it for today's video. Thank you all so much for watching. I did not talk about every single 2020 and 2021 MLB free agent because there are far too many. I wanted to focus on the main ones, but maybe you think that Mike Minor is going to be a solid piece to the Yankees or another team that is a fringe World Series contender. Please let me know in the comment section down below if I did miss anyone. And thank you all so much for watching. Stay safe. Peace out.